haftaras are equal, but are the same rather. But there are certain haftaras that are different. The difference really began in Israel and in Babel, and it was carried over by the Ashkenazim and the Sephardim. The Sephardim are Eretz Yisrael, and the Ashkenazim are basically Babel, as far as custom is concerned. Jerusalem is Aniyah, a poor woman, Soara, who is stormy, who wanders from place to place, Lo Nuchama, and finds no comfort anywhere. Again, a description of the Jewish people. The Jewish people are not comforted anywhere. The only place the Jewish people find comfort is in Jerusalem, in their own home. Everywhere else they wander. Every exile has its own face. Our exile here in the United States is constant wandering, even though no one pursues us. Many Jewish communities in the United States have moved 4 or 5 times in 1 century. Abandoned millions of dollars worth of buildings to go on and do it again. Not good enough. So God said, I shall set your stones in the most gorgeous setting, like a jeweler that takes a precious stone and sets it. And I shall establish you with sapphires, with the most gorgeous stones. The rabbis always said that sapphire, which is one of the stones that appeared on the breastplate of the Kohen Gadol, always had a certain quality to it because its blueness represented the heaven, or the reflection of the heaven. Therefore, even though there may be other stones that were more valuable, let us say, or more expensive, but the sapphire was like, the Jewish stone. The Samti Chad Code Shimshosayah. Shimshosayah means your window will be made out of crystal. Ushorayich le'avnei ekdoch, and your gates will be made from polished stone, that they look like stone that has been polished, that's on fire, burnished. The whole gvulech, and your entire border, meaning wherever Jews live in the land of Israel, will be le'avnei chefet, will be of desirable stone. So many say that refers to the Jerusalem stone that will be built. That the sunlight, it takes on certain characteristics, certain colors, it has an iridescence to it, a certain beauty to it. All your children will be taught, will be educated in the ways of God. Again, the great prophecy, not easy to fulfill. Universal education. But universal education in terms of Torah, universal education. Chol banayich l'mudei Hashem. Rav shlom banayich, and great will be their peace. And the Forshim say here a number of pshatim. First of all, they say, when is it peace among the Jewish people? When v'chol banayich l'mudei Hashem, when all of the Jewish people are educated in the ways of God, then there's peace. But if some are and some aren't, and there are different interpretations of what the ways of God are, so then that brings about strife instead of harmony. Our rabbis changed the word here. Our rabbis say, Al tikra bonoyich ela bonoyich. Do not read the word only as it says, bonoyich, your children, but bonoyich, those who are your builders, those who build the Jewish people. So great will be the peace of those who build the Jewish people. And who are the ones who build the Jewish people? The Limudei Hashem. Those who are knowledgeable in the ways of God, those who serve the Rabboni Shalom, those who study. B'tzedakah tikononi, you shall be established in tzedakah. Tzedakah is righteousness. And the Navi says it later, Zion b'mishpat tipodeh v'shoveha b'tzedakah. Zion is built upon righteousness. You cannot build it upon things that are wrong, upon exploitation, upon cheating, upon robbery. That doesn't help. That is not lasting. That's the words of the rabbis, Sheker ein lo raglayim. What is essentially false does not stand the test of time. Only in righteousness will Jerusalem be established. Me'oshek, rachati me'oshek. Stay away from oppression, from robbery, from extortion, from exploitation. Ilo siroti. You have nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be afraid of. People do things because they're afraid. Because they're afraid, therefore they do things that are illegal. They justify it because of the fact that the pressures upon them caused it to happen. Well, we are all subject to that. But the idea that is brought about here is that the illegality eventually will not last. Uminchita, and don't be terrorized. Don't be afraid. It will not come close to you. It will not hit you. Hein gor yogur, efes meosi. Also a great expression. Hein gor yogur, you want to be afraid of something. Efes, there's nothing in the world to be afraid of except meosi, except me. That's the phrase in the Chumash, Lo saguru mipnei ish. Do not be afraid of any man. God says that, what? Gur is afraid. No. Different language. Gur yagur means don't be frightened. Don't be terrorized. Ephes, there is nothing to be afraid of. Me'osi, only of me. Now that we say that in Hallel, right? Hashem li lo ira, ma'yase li oda. God is with me, then I have nothing to be afraid of. He is not with me, then I have nothing to be confident in. Mi gor ita, who that dwells with you. Alayich yipo, will he fall upon you? In other words, that's a question. Who are you afraid of? You think that they're going to do something to you? They're going to attack you? They're going to triumph over you? It can't happen. Why? Because again, God is the one that is in charge. Hine anochi borasi chorosh. Behold, I have created the smithy. The Navi speaks in his time. So in his time, they were afraid of spears and of burnished iron and of arrows and of metal, chariots, etc. But in our time, the Navi would say, I have created nuclear energy. I have created rocket propulsion. What are you afraid of? Who created it? Who loosed these forces in nature? Who allows them to exist? I am the one that has created, the one that causes the fire to come forth from the bellows. He blows on the bellows of the coals in order to raise the fire. Describing the smithy's art. We are not accustomed to it. Nobody goes down to the corner to watch the blacksmith shoe a horse anymore. But for centuries on end, this was an imagery that was understandable to everyone. Motzi chlila ma'aseyu, the one that creates utensils, tools, for the purposes that they were manufactured. So I'm the one that has done it. V'onochi borosi mashchis lechabel, and I am the one that has also created the instruments of war, the instruments of destruction, the instruments that come alayich lo yitzlach. Every weapon created against you will be unsuccessful. The rockets won't land. Don't worry. Kol kli yutzar alayich. Every utensil created to harm you, lo yitzlach, will not be successful. And every tongue that comes to stand against you in judgment, that accuses you, tarshi, you will find them guilty. They will be guilty. The ones that speak against Israel, the ones that speak against the Jewish people, that speak against God, they will be found wanting. They will be found guilty. The end is that they are the ones that fall. Those nachalas avdei Hashem. Tzidkosa meiti yum Hashem. This is the nachala, the inheritance of those who serve God. Their ultimate triumph, their ultimate victory is that they see the defeat of their enemy. Tzidkosa meiti, and their righteousness will come forth from me. Their victory comes forth from me. Yum Hashem, says God. The Navi says, anybody that is thirsty, come to the water to drink. Free water. The description here is again a desert. And there's an oasis. And at the oasis there's a free coach. It's free. Our rabbis say a mayim el Torah. The waters that are represented here are the words of God. A world that is thirsty for something of substance, for something of meaning, who is thirsty to have eternity and to have a purpose to life, come, drink from God's water. Our rabbis give us the imagery here. Water quenches thirst. There are other liquids that increase a person's thirst. Salt water, sugared water, certain sweet sodas, etc. That makes you more thirsty. Water always slakes a person's thirst. And somebody you say you can't afford it, you don't have money, it's free. I offer you something that's free. Come, sit down and eat. Eat, satisfy yourselves without cost. Without any price. I will not ask you later for the price. You'll have food and water and drink, but you'll have wine and milk. You'll have everything that you want. Our rabbis always compare the words of Torah to wine, to milk, to honey, to delicacies that a person enjoys. Because originally Torah is like water. It satisfies our thirst, but it has no taste. But the more a person delves into the Torah, the more a person understands, the greater a person is in terms of analysis. So then, in the Torah you taste everything. The Torah is like the mud. It has every imaginable taste. And that's why it has that attraction that's able to stand the test of time. So now the Navi says, why should you pay good money and not even get a slice of bread? That's the description of life. Work like a dog and you have nothing to show for it. You go through, it costs anyway. The low lechem, you pay for it and you have nothing out of it. I always am taken by some of the bumper stickers that you see. You know, lately there's a plethora of bumper stickers that say life is a, and then there's an obscenity. But I always, the guy that's got that on his bumper sticker is usually driving a $15,000 car that obviously doesn't do it for him. That even so, that's what the Navi says. Why should you pay? You know, you pay so much, you don't have anything for it. And why should you work so hard, toil?